Hi, Peter Charles here, Hooked for Life, fly fishing, and I'd like to introduce a new series, Peter's Fly Fishing Vlog. It's just some collections of thoughts about fly fishing, some technical, some whatever. And it's just to have a little bit of fun and talk about stuff, and we can carry on in the comments if you want to add to whatever I've said. And feel free to disagree, I'm just having some fun with this. But, you know, it's COVID-19, we've got to do something with our lives, right? Anyway, I'm going to do one on my fly tying bench. Somebody's asked me about that a few times, so let's get started. Hi, Peter Charles here, Hooked for Life, fly fishing. And I've had a few requests over the past years talking about how I tie my flies and specifically, you know, my space and how I store stuff and how I organize stuff. So I thought, you know, that would be a good subject for a video. Let me get into that. And I could start off by saying I have a lovely embroidered picture that my daughter did for me many, many years ago, and she thought I needed a picture for my fly tying area, and there it is. Embroidered rainbow trout along with a load of flies. She did a great job. Thanks, Steph. Anyway, what have I done? First off, this desk here is actually homemade. I made this out of a piece of countertop that I'd found left over after the construction of this house. So it made for a great top for fly tying. It's nice and slick, nice neutral gray color, and it's quite useful actually. So if you can find some old countertop, it works great. You can see I've got some pegboard at the back here. I've got hooks along the top, tools here, a tool caddy, and this is fixed. I don't like stuff moving around. And in terms of my threads, I've got threads organized by color along with my yarns, my flosses, and then here I have my tinsels and wires and what have you. Now, originally I had my fly tying threads organized according to type. So all the 3/0 together, 6/0 together, flosses together, yarns together. That proved to be actually rather difficult. It sounds good in practice, but it didn't turn out so great. What I found that when I went with this kind of arrangement where it's all arranged by color, I can, if I want to do, let's say, an olive fly, you know, there's all my olives, and I can see what I've got in a way of olives. So I can look at and say, yeah, I can use this olive thread with that olive yarn, you know, and give me the effect I want. So it made life a lot easier. I was able to see more of what I had in hand. Also, when I went shopping for threads and yarns, I could see what I was missing. The racks are actually racks I bought at a fabric shop. And I have screwed them in so they don't move. So if you're looking for racks that are very effective for this, just go to your local fabric shop and look for racks designed for normal sewing threads. The caddy I just made out of a chunk of hardwood, and it's screwed into the table so it doesn't go anywhere. It's quite easy to do. Being fixed, I don't have to worry about it moving around. My vise is actually siliconed to the table. Because this table is designed for fly tying only, I can do that. And now my vise never moves. And that is really, really handy. I don't have to worry. I can really crank on it, you know, when I'm turning something. I can really be pulling and cranking, and I don't ever have to worry about this thing shifting, which is quite handy. So let's look at a few other things. I had some odds and sods in this particular cabinet. I keep all my dubbing in the top drawer, and this box here is just something I picked up at Canadian Tire, and it's just a typical utility box. I've drilled holes in it and put my dubbing in and labeled them, and it's a great way to keep things organized. And if you don't want to do the drilling bit, you can buy them already made and you know, stuff them full of your favorite dubbing and you're off to the races. I picked up these boxes. There's actually 4 of them here. I got them from IKEA, and they come unfinished. You have to finish them yourselves. And I'm using this to store anything that's in small packets like this. Very, very handy. They're labeled. Longer stuff like, you know, calf tail wings, calf tails, I should say, for calf tail wings, squirrel tail. That gets put in the longer drawers, or if there's a lot of stuff like all my chenilles. So it enables me to keep things organized. I actually don't particularly like these cabinets. If I had to do it over again, I'd pick something else. They
the back of them is not finished properly, so sometimes your materials get trapped at the back and you can't get the drawer open. But other than that, they're actually quite good and they work. This up here is actually just a conventional tackle box, and I found it very handy to use conventional tackle containers like this one. This is all my eyes and my dumbbells and my cones and my beads. It keeps things nice and organized. Everything's in one place. Now, my saltwater hooks, for example. So these conventional tackle boxes are really great for keeping track of a lot of loose, small stuff. And you know, you can label it and it works fine. Now, under the desk in these wheel cabinets, I keep things like my hackles. These are soft hackle. I keep stuff that has been prepped in bags ahead of time. My quills and furs, different kinds of furs. I'll have skins in here as well. And these on wheels, you can pull them out, and they're very easy to get your materials out of them. On this side I have all my bucktails and things like my yak hair and all that kind of stuff. Anything that's long, big packages, these things are great. Okay, there's my fly tying space and how I have it organized. I think there's a couple of things that are important about organizing fly tying materials. First off, you need to know how much you have of something and what you have. Because when you're going to tie a pattern, it's important that you're able to find what you need. And if you don't have your stuff well organized, that can be very tough to find the fact that if you're looking for a particular kind of saddle hackle and it's buried underneath something, you'll never know it's there. And the other thing is to know when I'm running out of something. You know, when I've got gaps here because I've run out, it's a good way to warn me that, you know, like I should go to the store and buy some more. So I'm able to keep track a lot better of what I have and what I'm missing by being organized in this fashion. So I know it can get a little anal at times, but you know, it sometimes beats getting halfway through a fly and finding out you're missing stuff. So anyway, there's how I organize my fly tying space and where I tie my flies. Cheers. Okay, that was my first vlog entry. Now we're going to move on. I'll do a few more. I've got quite a few entries on my website that deal with a variety of subjects, and I'm going to pick some of those out and do some vlogs on them. So, stay tuned. Cheers.